All right, I'm live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my 500 sub Q&A stream. My name is the Goldman, and thank you everyone for coming. Just wait a little bit to see if people will join in, but I'm glad to be doing this. God, 500 subs, right? Feels like I just started. Hold on, I have my iPad over here just to have it on as well. And good. Okay, how's everyone doing? Again, I'll just wait a little bit to see how many people come. Answer some questions. Don't think I'll be able to make it, but congrats on 500 subs. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without anyone here. Hello there, General Kenobi. Oh, thank you, the Goldman, for commenting. Hey guys, I love this guy. He's always on Twitter responding to my tweets, and I love talking to him. I don't think I'll be able to watch the beginning, but I hope I can make it in 30 minutes. Hey, no worries. I wanted to do this stream a little earlier. I usually do it at night, but just wanted to experiment in the afternoon. It's right now 3 o'clock on the East Coast in the US. So let's see if I can get people maybe in Europe. If anyone watches there. Hello, the General Kenobi. Love the hello there's. Oh, lots of hello there's. Oh, thanks guys for tuning in. So how's everyone doing? I have nothing really to talk about. Just want to answer questions, but I do have one thing I want to announce. I am back. I do remember you, Giants fan. Thank you for tuning in. You've always been there for my live streams. Thank you so much. Okay, so announcement, if you will. So if you've noticed this summer, I've been in a bathroom when I do my streams. A few months ago, I was back home where I usually live. But this summer, due to work and just not being home, I've been doing YouTube elsewhere. But once I get back to school, which will be August 31st, what I'm going to be doing is instead of doing my usual 3 videos a week, I'm going to do 2 videos a week and a stream. I don't know, just so I have more time to talk with you guys instead of doing one stream, I don't know, once a month. Every time I get 100, I reach another 100 sub milestone. So I'll be doing more streaming, and since I'll only be doing 2 video essays a week, that gives me time to work on a bigger project that I'm doing. So what I'm going to be doing is making a really long video essay talking about Ray being a Mary Sue. A lot of people have been commenting, wanting me to do that video, and I want to start working on it, but I'm not going to be able to start working on it until September. So I don't know how long that will take me, but it's going to be very long. I've jotted down some ideas, and it's going to be a really long video essay. So I'm really excited to start working on that. Hello. Dude, it will just go up for now. I'll be back. Oh, I'm glad you're here. East Coast gang. Oh, hope that's not offensive. Hello from Europe. So you, thanks. See, I do have some people from Europe. General Goldman, that is me. Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker, that doesn't exist. Anakin was never a master. Yeah, see, I made a good decision. I am not a bold one. You guys are the bold ones for watching my videos. Just stopping by to drop. Thank you. I appreciate it. Just smash that like button. Don't forget, it really does help out a lot. There's the like. That should be very interesting. LOL. Yeah. I got 3 movies to talk about, and the Mary Sue argument has been going on since The Force Awakens came out. And back then, I was defending it. After The Last Jedi, the criticisms got worse, and I was defending it even then. And now, after The Rise of Skywalker, things have gotten even worse. And the argument, I guess I somewhat understand it. I disagree, and I have a lot to say about it. So I really wanted to vote along a lot of time to it, but I don't want to take 2 weeks off from YouTube. I still want to post weekly content. So I'm really excited to start working on that. Army or not, you must realize you are doomed. God, General Grievous, he's a lot of fun to quote, even though he is my least favorite character in Star Wars. I'm not sure if I've told you guys that, but yeah, General Grievous is my least favorite character in Star Wars. Just everything about him is what I dislike about Star Wars. Just someone wielding 4 lightsabers, twirling it. For me, lightsabers always had weight to them. And even if you had 2, that means you were really special. And I can never watch that lightsaber fight between Grievous and Obi-Wan without just being baffled that Grievous doesn't kill him in a few seconds. Again, he has 4 lightsabers. All he has to do is block Obi-Wan with 3 and then jab with 1. But where's the dramatic tension in that? But it's still, and even in the Clone Wars, they didn't flesh out Grievous. There was that one episode in his lair where he killed Kit Fisto's Padawan. I forgot his name. But yeah, I don't really like General Grievous all that much. Are you excited for Mando season 2 this fall? I'm excited for anything Star Wars, but yes, I am rather excited for Mandalorian season 2. I wouldn't say I'm super hyped though. I liked the first season of The Mandalorian, but I didn't love it like I do for say the movies, most of them. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how all these rumors tie in. Will Ahsoka show up? Will Rex show up? Will all these people show up? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm really curious to see where Moff Gideon goes, where his character goes. Also, where the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda go. Are they looking for the Yoda homeworld that even exists? That would be so weird. Imagine where, like, at the end of a season, they arrive there and there's a bunch of Yodas. And do they all speak backwards? Are they all Force sensitive? I mean, Yaddle, Yoda, and Baby Yoda are all Force sensitive. So, I just heard a weird noise. So yes, I am excited for Mando season 2. October soon. That is in 2.5 months. 2.5 months. We should be getting a trailer soon. Hopefully this month. Actually, supposedly there's a Disney meeting on Tuesday. It's like the quarterly meetings that they have 4 times a year, and they usually reveal some things there to the investors and the stakeholders. So we'll probably get some announcements there. I don't think we'll get a Mandalorian trailer. That'd be nice. But we'll probably get maybe some announcements on the Disney Plus shows. Because there's a bunch of rumors right now with let's see, there's a Lando rumor, the Darth Maul and Kira rumor, although we don't really know what's gonna happen with Darth Maul because of Ray Park. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some more announcements. There's the Leslie Headland show. Maybe we'll get some release dates for Obi-Wan or the Cassian Andor show, but I don't expect release dates. With the whole virus going around, it wouldn't be in a company's best interest to release dates, especially when there is no release date to begin with. But yeah, I agree. I think that there is enough evidence to disprove Rey being a Mary Sue. Yeah, especially after I make my video, there will be maybe 2 hours worth. I don't want to commit to like a timestamp, but like when I just look down at all my thoughts that I jot down and how I want to discuss each scene, then yeah, like I have a lot to say about Rey being a Mary Sue. Again, from all 3 movies. And I'm also, a few of my videos that I've made so far do tie in a little bit to the Mary Sue argument. And every video I make, there's always stuff I want to change. So for those specific videos, I'm not just going to copy and paste it, but I'm going to take some of my ideas and put it in my longer essay. And then I'll be able to refine it so I have some of the points I wish I had before. Hello. Sorry to hear you don't like Grievous that much, dude. Understandable, though. You don't need to apologize. Like, I don't like characters. I'm not really upset about it. I'm not going to like everything in Star Wars. It's not like every time I see General Grievous, I just get really sad or angry. Like, when I saw him in the first episode of the Siege of Mandalore, where they showed him for like 1 second, I was like, damn, he looks good. That was easily the best we've seen of animated Grievous. It was for like a second, probably because he didn't say anything. Although I do like General Grievous's voice. You are doomed, General Kenobi. You are a bold one. He is fun. He's a great meme. Just as a character, I don't like him that much. What's up, Claude Gang? It's not the Claude Gang, it's the Claude Squad. It rhymes. So yeah, remember, unite the Claude Squad. Claude Gang, Claude Squad. You guys decide. But I like the Claude Squad better because it rhymes. Rhyming is always fun. What is your opinion of Star Wars Legends? Like stuff like Mara Jade or the different way Luke is presented there, and stuff like Darth Revan or the Knights of the Old Republic. When it comes to Legends, I've only consumed 4 books: the Thrawn trilogy and Shadows of the Empire. In the Thrawn trilogy, I didn't really like Mara Jade all that much. She was fine. She didn't get married to Luke yet, so there's definitely a lot more with her character. My opinion on Star Wars Legends is I'm just really glad it exists. I know so many people love that part of the canon. They love a lot of the characters. I never played any of the Knights of the Old Republic games, so I know diddly squat about any of them. I know they're beloved, and I do want to play them. I just don't really have the motivation or interest. Like, there's other things I'd rather do than play KOTOR. But I know it means so much to a lot of people, so in that respect, I love Legends, but I don't have any personal relationship with it. If they were to continue on the storyline of Legends, I'd be happy. I wouldn't probably read it just because I'm more interested in the canon stuff, and I haven't even been reading that all that much. But yeah, I respect Star Wars Legends. There's a lot to pull from. They pulled Thrawn from Legends. But yeah, it's a very important part of Star Wars history, and no one should diminish that. At this, I don't know if Rey is a Mary Sue or not. There is so many people saying that she is and she's not that I'm confused. Hey, well, I'll make my video, but you should base your opinion not just based off of what I say. Listen to the other sides of the arguments. Believe me, there's plenty of videos on why Rey is a Mary Sue. Watch all sides of the argument and then form your opinion. I passionately believe that she is not, and I hope I can convince you of that, but you always make your own opinion. Don't just get all your information from one person. Congrats, bro. Your vids are really good and very well made. Thank you very much. I don't know if you ever answered this question, but how do you come up with the name of your channel? It's kind of a secret. If you know me personally, then you know. I don't know. I just wanted to think of something simple that's not just like Star Wars blank, because there's a lot of those. Star Wars Explained, Star Wars Theory, my pal, Star Wars Only. Something a little different. And I was like, I don't know, the Gold Man. It was actually just Gold Man for a bit, and then I added the, and I was just like, okay. I mean, it's simple. It's not something long and complicated. It's simple enough where people remember. And also, Claude is yellow gold, so it's like, is Claude the Gold Man? No, it's me. But Claude is essential to this channel. And when I get back to my usual setup, my cardboard cutout of Claude will be back, and I miss that guy very much. Claude and I had some great memories together, and I miss him. I don't get the hate Rey being born from a Palpatine clone, because no one hates Boba Fett when he's a clone of Jango. Yeah, I think the annoyance of Rey being born from a clone mostly just stems from Rey being a nobody at first, and then they kind of contradict that. Not only was she Palpatine's granddaughter, but a clone of Palpatine, the daughter of a clone of Palpatine who was kind of Palpatine's son. See, it gets a little complicated. I personally don't mind it. I wish it was done a little better. I will always prefer Rey being nobody. I don't hate Rey Palpatine. That's the story. I've come to terms with it. I love it. I love Rey as a character. Again, just like the movie says, I don't judge a character by who they're related to. I judge them by their actions, by their spirit, by their heart. And I love Rey because of that, not because she was a nobody or because she was a Palpatine. Hey, Goldman, congrats on 500 subs. You deserve it. I don't deserve anything. Thank you guys so much, though. Again, 500 subs, it's weird. It's weird. I started about 5 months ago, and 500 subs in did I say 500 months? 500 subs in 5 months. So I'm pretty happy. If I can get 1,000 subs by 2021, because that's another 5 months, I'll be happy. Again, my goal isn't to get subs. My goal is to provide content to those who are annoyed with the negative discourse in the Star Wars universe or the Star Wars fandom. So if I can just be that voice to those who want to see positive content, again, mostly it's revolved around sequels, because sequel fans get crapped on all the time nowadays. So if I can be that one channel that just makes sequel content for you guys, I mean, I'm gonna make other content too from other Star Wars, but yeah, thank you for watching. I do not deserve it, but thank you. Claude Squad for the win. Yes, Claude Squad is so much better. Alex, a nice Wilbur Hood profile pics. Hello there. Hello there to you. Claude Squad, huh? Got a nice ring to it. Yeah. In my description of all my videos, it says Unite the Claude Squad. Yeah. Unite the Claude Squad. Would you have liked to see Rey turn to the dark side in The Last Jedi? It depends. It depends on what they were trying to do. Again, I love The Last Jedi, so there's very few things I would change about it, especially ones that involve Rey and Kylo and Luke. Obviously, I don't want to say I'd like to change things. I would have preferred that the Finn and Rose stuff be done better. Would have preferred the Poe stuff to be done better. But I don't. Once I see a movie, of course, I have my thoughts like, oh, I'd rather see this. Oh, I wish they had done that. But then I come to terms with it. Like, this is a part of the canon. That's it. I'm happy it exists. I'm happy we even got an episode 7, 8, and 9. I mean, 10 years ago, just the thought of an episode 7 was like a dream. And now we have a whole trilogy. And yes, it might have not satisfied you, but I'm just really glad it exists. But I think Rey turning to the dark side would have been interesting as long as she comes back. Again, the most important thing to me in Star Wars are the themes. And if Rey were to just turn to the dark side, and that would be the end of her story. That's just kind of a dark message, especially since Rey was such a positive force in The Force Awakens. Pun intended. Love your channel. I love you. Thank you, though. I really appreciate that. Do you think Rian Johnson will do his trilogy, or do you think he will take a pass because of all the negative feedback he has received since The Last Jedi's release? It's such a hard question. I talk about this all the time on the Chataween show. And again, before I continue, thank you everyone who's tuning in. Please don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps me out. And thank you everyone so much for helping me get to 500 subs. It means a lot. Thank you. Back to the question. It's such a hard one. I feel like there's so many factors at play when it comes to the Rian Johnson's trilogy. And we talk about this a little bit on the Chataween show on Star Wars Only's channel, so go check that out. But there's a lot of factors. I think how well Knives Out 2 does. If it's as critically acclaimed as the first one is, then I think that betters the chances. Is Kathleen Kennedy still around? She's the reason that Rian Johnson has a trilogy in the first place. If she's replaced, does that new head want all the baggage that comes with Rian Johnson with the fandom? There's so many factors. If I were him, it's hard to say. There's so many good reasons. Like if I was him, I'd want him to do the trilogy because I want to prove myself again. Or am I just fed up with the fans? They don't deserve me. It's such a complicated thing. Am I really behind with the comments? I am. But yeah, I'm behind. I'll try to get through these as fast as I can. But yeah, I really hope he does get his trilogy. That a Rian Johnson trilogy or any story about Rey and the sequel trilogy characters is what will make me the most excited over anything. I'm trying to fix my hair, but the camera I'm looking at is mirrored. Well, there's a mirror right over there because I am in the bathroom. Let's continue. I personally don't like Boba being a clone or Rey being a Palpatine. Respectable. I don't really care about Boba Fett at all. He's just there. He can be a clone, not a clone. I don't care. But yeah, Rey being a Palpatine, I've come to terms with it. I don't hate it. I don't. McClunkley 1977. I've heard it's still happening. I hope you heard it from Rian Johnson himself. That would make me really happy. Congrats on the 500 subs, bro. Thank you so much. It still doesn't hit me. And I don't like saying thank you to my fans because I don't feel like I have fans. I just provide content to people. I should say my subscribers. But again, I owe it all to you guys. The amount of views I get on a video in the first day is 200. And that doesn't hit me yet because I remember posting my first video and getting 20 subs in the first day. And it was just 20 people watched my video. And now I get hundreds of subs. And then sometimes I get people commenting on my videos saying oh, first. Just wow, people are commenting first on my videos. It's so cool. I love you guys. If you could rewrite any Star Wars movie for it to be completely canon with your own ideas, which one would it be? Part of me says The Rise of Skywalker. Part of me would say The Phantom Menace. Maybe Rogue One. Well, I'd say one of those three. Phantom Menace, just because I really don't like it. And I feel like there's a lot I can change without ruining the other films. And The Rise of Skywalker, since it's the ending, I could change as much as I'd want. And I'd take a lot of ideas from The Rise of Skywalker, sure, and I'd pull a little bit from Duel of the Fates and then some of my own ideas. Because, as someone who wants to tell stories, I always can't help myself but think, oh, I would have done this. But yeah, if I had to, I would hire someone else to co-write it with me because I'm just a stupid college kid. What do I know about writing? But yeah, I'd give my ideas. I'd say probably The Rise of Skywalker. Again, I don't hate The Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars Only, I don't know what your problem is. He doesn't want to do that anymore. Perfectly understandable, though. Claude is epic. Claude begins with a K, not a C. FYI. There you go. Thank you, Ben Solo. I hope you're still alive. I hope what I saw in The Rise of Skywalker was fake. Claude Supremacy. Claude is the best character in Star Wars. If I'm still doing YouTube by the time April 1st comes, which I hope I am, I'm going to make a video on why Claude's the best character in Star Wars. And, I sometimes think about that. He's an armless engineer that's so emotional, that plays into the themes of Star Wars. It's going to be a joke, but I'm going to make it really serious. And I can't wait. But unfortunately, April is in 9 months. I'm not doing the math off the top of my head. I was watching Star Wars Theory the other day, and he had a live stream with James Arnold Taylor, where he mentioned that something he would have liked to see in Clone Wars Season 7 is more of Anakin. Yeah, but we saw so much of Anakin. I'm never going to say no to more Anakin in the Clone Wars. But season 7 was really about Rex and Ahsoka, and we got plenty of those two. And of course, the second arc was not that great. But when it came to the Siege of Mandalore, I wouldn't change anything. We got Vader. Anakin's the last character we see in the Clone Wars, in the Jedi Temple during Order 66. Maybe I think about that. Maybe sometimes, like, not maybe a whole scene, because I think a great quote that I read by Dave Filoni was that he's not trying to alter George Lucas's story with Revenge of the Sith. He's not trying to recontextualize scenes. He wants to just build on that and provide a new perspective. And besides the one hologram scene with Mace Windu, Yoda, Ayla Secura, and Keanu Moody, we don't see any other scenes from Revenge of the Sith. But that's why I love Dave Filoni, and I can't wait for all the work he does in the future, because I love that man. I'm behind. Is that something you'd like to have seen in season 7? Order 66? We did see Order 66. Not from Anakin's perspective. I don't need... Revenge of the Sith is Anakin's story. It's Anakin and Obi-Wan's story. Siege of Mandalore is Ahsoka and Rex's story. And Maul's, I guess. So no, I love Siege of Mandalore so much. I personally thought Rey would turn to the dark side by the end of episode 9, and to introduce episode 10. I'm glad she didn't, though. I never thought that, just because they always said episode 9 was the end of the Skywalker saga. So that means there's no episode 10. I really hope they don't do an episode 10. I hope they continue Rey's story, just not title it episode 10. Like, I'm glad the Skywalker saga is over. Like, I lived through the ending. I'm happy. It's time for them to tell new stories, whether it be with some of the same characters we've seen or new characters. But I hope there is no episode 10. Yeah, yes. Hello from Latin America. Thank you. God, again, it's like all over the world. Some in Europe, some in Latin America. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Congrats on 500 subs. Love your channel. Who's your favorite Star Wars character? Thank you so much. I'd say it's Luke. Mostly because of The Last Jedi. Luke and Anakin are up there. Then we got Rey and Kylo, and then Han. Yeah, I love all these characters. I'd say my favorite is Luke, just because he's so iconic, and then what he went through in The Last Jedi just means a lot to me personally. So yeah, I'd say Luke. That's true. 501 subs. Thank you. You know, I was at 501 subs earlier today, and someone unsubscribed, and I cried for a little bit. No. People unsub to me all the time. It's weird. I wonder why. What's up, everyone? Hey, Superhero Reviews. Thank you for tuning in. Controversial opinion. I like every Star Wars movie, even Solo. I love when people say that. Like, I love most of the Star Wars movies. I'd say really besides Phantom Menace and Rogue One. Maybe Solo. But yeah, like, there's movies that I think are bad. Like, I don't think Revenge of the Sith is a good movie, but I still love it. You know, I can love something even though I think objectively it's not a great movie. But yeah, I'm going to be honest with myself, though. I want to say I love everything Star Wars. I love most things Star Wars. But I'm not going to lie to myself and say, oh, I really love watching The Phantom Menace. I don't. But I love hearing when people say how much they love everything with Star Wars, as long as they're genuine about it. Like, the whole Solo 2 movement makes me so happy, even though I personally don't want to see a Solo 2. Just the positivity around that movie and the fact that so many people love it just makes me really happy. And I would love, if a Solo 2 did happen, the majority of my excitement would be because of those fans that want that story continued so bad. I don't, but I'm not going to trash the make Solo 2 happen people. I'm really glad the movement exists, and I hope they get what they want. Anakin, every Star Wars movie is good except Holiday Special. Oh, yeah. Holiday Special is not a movie, it's a special. Last Jedi was good. Last Jedi was great. Last Jedi is amazing. I agree. I actually like all 3 sequels. Me too. Is there things I wish they did better? Of course. They're movies. Every movie has a flaw, but I like them, and I'm glad they exist. Did you read the Duel of the Fates script? I think it was better than The Rise of Skywalker. I have the script downloaded. I've never straight up read the whole thing, but I've read a plot synopsis. And, you know, it's hard for me to say. There's a lot in the Duel of the Fates that I really like. But then there's a lot in The Rise of Skywalker I like. And there's a lot I dislike in both. The one thing, though, about Duel of the Fates that I'm glad it again made was Ben Solo's redemption. Like, that is the most important thing to me, and it happened in The Rise of Skywalker. And I don't think it happened in Duel of the Fates. So if it did happen in Duel of the Fates, I would have been happier with that. But yeah, I do want to one day read the whole thing on a live stream. You know, I think it'd be fun. Be a long one too. Congrats, Goldman. Keep it up. Love you, bro. Love you and your work. Thanks, Siege Team 6. You know how much you guys mean to me. Oh, but you do have fans. Am I really that far behind? I hope not. Fans. Subscribers, I'll say. Supporters. Fans. Oh, because I'm a fan too. Hello there, everyone. Congrats on 500. Thank you so much. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you. I know most people either love Last Jedi or hate Tross, or love Tross and hate The Last Jedi, but I like them both. I love The Last Jedi, and I like The Rise of Skywalker. I'll always... Last Jedi just means so much to me. But yeah, I'm glad that people like them both. I don't hate The Rise of Skywalker by any means. Like when I read the leaks beforehand, and I was not a fan of it. But when I saw the movie, I remember my friend texted me. He's like, "What are your thoughts? What's your one-word thoughts on The Rise of Skywalker?" And I said relieved, because when I went in, I was really nervous I was going to hate it. But I can't help myself, but I enjoyed it. There are things I wish they did better. But I enjoyed it. And again, I don't think it's that great of a movie, but I really like it. And I'm glad so many other people love it too. Anakin Skywalker is saying, I'm kind of stupid. I should have got some water because I'm really thirsty. Good thing I'm in a bathroom. Hopefully the sink's not gross. But yeah. Hopefully I'm not going to regret that. I found you through a Star Wars Facebook group, not the usual way. I've been joining a few Facebook groups. Jeez, I can't speak. And I just want to help spread the word about my channel. But thank you. Do you think fans take Star Wars maybe a little too seriously nowadays? Not everyone here per se. I'm a casual for the most part. But fans kind of just spend every day complaining. Yes. Well, it depends what you mean by taking it too seriously. Like, I think about Star Wars basically every day. I spend almost every day making videos about Star Wars. But I don't take the storyline too seriously. Like when I see sound in space, I don't get annoyed. And I don't complain about Star Wars every day. And a lot of people, those who do, they definitely take it too seriously. If you hate the sequels, I'm sorry you feel that way. But if you hate Star Wars now, just move on. Like, I know it hurts. There are shows I used to love that I don't anymore. Like The Walking Dead. I used to watch that religiously, and then I just didn't like it anymore. Does it suck? Yeah. I wish I still love this show, but I've moved on. I'm not going to complain about the things I don't like. Same thing with House of Cards. I loved that show, and then the last season was so yeah, I wasn't happy about that, but I moved on. I'm not going to complain. I fundamentally believe that people shouldn't just complain about things. Like all these YouTubers that make these clickbait hate videos that overreact to everything. It just, yeah, it gets views. And if I made videos about how much I hated the sequels, would I be at 1,000 subs right now? Maybe. But I wouldn't be happy with myself because that's just me being dishonest, and it goes against my morals of that positivity is the most important thing. Not naivety, not naive positivity, but genuine positivity. Personally, I enjoy every Star Wars movie, just some more than others. Same here, except for really The Phantom Menace. There's very few things I enjoy about that movie, but I love hearing that people love and people enjoy all the movies. Which character would you completely erase from each trilogy? I would completely erase. I can't say anything about the originals. I just don't know. I'd erase no one from there. The prequels, I would erase Count Dooku. Count Dooku or Grievous. Dooku's more interesting because of the stories, like the books. But I always thought Maul should be the main villain. But then we got him in the Clone Wars. So see again, like I have these original opinions about things, but then the stories that are built off of those things I don't like are really good. Like, for example, if before the sequels came out, I always thought Leia being Luke's sister was kind of stupid because it kind of just came out of nowhere and didn't really like Luke's sister could have been another character. So I didn't really like that. But if Luke was never Leia's sister, or if they were never siblings, then we would have never gotten Ben Solo. So things like that. Sorry. Do you like Rose Tico? I don't mind the character. I don't particularly like the way she was used. But yeah, Rose is a tough one. I don't hate her. Like she's a sweet person, and I would be friends with her if I was in the Star Wars universe. I just don't think she was used well at all. Do you think they will continue the story of the sequels and Rey? And Rey would create a new Jedi Order, and there would be another Republic. There's nothing I want more than that. Eventually they will. They can't just... I don't believe that the Star Wars universe is ending with the Rise of Skywalker. I just don't believe that. I hope it just happens sooner rather than later. But it's eventually, it's gonna happen. It has to. They can't. For all of eternity, they're gonna continue her story in some way. I just hope it happens soon. The Rise of Skywalker is actually my favorite Star Wars movie. See, fun fact. Every time you see a Star Wars ranking list, or if you make your own, it's always neat to know that your least favorite movie is someone's favorite movie. Like I've seen lists and I've kept track mentally. I have seen a ranking list by many people, and at some point, each movie was someone's favorite. Even The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. So yeah, just like, I don't know how someone could think Phantom Menace is their favorite, but here's an important thing I want to say. I think it's important to never assume why people like or dislike a movie. For example, with The Phantom Menace. Say, this is not my experience, by the way. I'm just thinking of an example here. Say a kid, right? He went to go see The Phantom Menace with his father, and it was the best experience they ever had. Like this kid seeing The Phantom Menace with his father just meant a lot to him personally. And then say a few days later, his father passed away from an illness. Like in his last good memory of his father was seeing The Phantom Menace with him. So if someone random just says like, oh, wow, you like The Phantom Menace, like, you must be stupid. You like that bad movie is your favorite. Like, you don't know why he likes it. You don't know that he has such a personal attachment to that movie. So because of something like that, I try to never assume why people love or dislike something. Someone might dislike Luke in The Last Jedi, not because they're annoying, but because maybe they just really wanted to see a positive version of Luke Skywalker and they didn't get that. Now, personally, I love Luke, but I'm not going to judge someone because of what they wanted to see and they didn't get it. So I try my best not to judge people for why they like or dislike something or assume it. And I'm guilty of that, of assuming why people like things. And I try my best to work on that. I'm not a perfect human being, but I try to work on some of the things I preach. Claude is the chosen one. That's a fact. All right, I'm going to go eat grilled cheese, so see ya. I hope you go enjoy your grilled cheese. But thank you for tuning in. I got to catch up. I'm like 8 minutes behind on comments. But again, I just like talking to people. I tried to listen to the Duel of Fates audio drama, but I couldn't get through it. That's unfortunate. I haven't listened to it. I should, though. I think that would be a fun listen to. But yeah, I haven't listened to that. I do want to, though. Sorry, I just got a text. Though I personally didn't love Solo, I thought it set up a sequel. That had potential. Ron Howard recently said it wasn't happening, though. Yeah, again, there's these rumors that a Solo 2 is happening. I don't see that. I see them continuing some of the story, but I don't see them making a Solo 2. Like maybe a Kira show, but not a Solo 2. Do you think Rey Palpatine makes sense, like ignoring all the backlash, just sticking to the movies? It depends what you mean by makes sense. Like they clearly went away from what was set up in The Last Jedi, but they established a story that they wanted to tell. The story in The Rise of Skywalker is about found family, not being defined by your past. And since they wanted to tell that kind of story, I believe making Rey Palpatine makes sense for that. I just wish it was potentially set up more throughout the trilogy. But yeah, I'd say it makes sense. I mean, what is there that doesn't make sense about it? How old are you? I'm in my early 20s, I'll say that. Oof, The Walking Dead season 6 through 9 are awful, but season 10 is amazing. Yeah, I've actually heard season 10 is good, but I stopped watching halfway through season 8. I'm not going to say when because it's spoilers. I'm not sure if anyone cares, but yeah. I try my best not to give spoilers about stuff that's not Star Wars because I don't always watch it. Someone could be in the middle of an MCU binge, and I don't want to say what happens in Endgame. I think Palpatine is the best Star Wars villain, and Rise of Skywalker made him a better villain. I'm glad you love that. I don't think The Rise of Skywalker hurt Palpatine. I just wish he wasn't in the movie. But my favorite villain is Vader, Kylo Ren, Darth Maul in the Clone Wars. See, I hate Darth Maul in Phantom Menace, but in the Clone Wars, he's so good. I don't really have favorites when it comes to characters. I should make a list, though. If you made sequel hate videos with your quality, I wouldn't be surprised if you were big. Yeah, see, but I would feel disingenuous, so I could never do that. Hey, bro, congrats on the channel. What opportunities do you think the sequel trilogy missed? Keeping Ben Solo alive, for one. I'm not a hardcore Raylo. I wouldn't even consider myself a Raylo. Like, I'm happy with the way the story ended somewhat. I think if Rey and Kylo Ren got together, I think that could have been a very, very interesting story. I don't think it had to happen. Like, I wasn't upset that Raylo didn't happen. When they kissed, I was like, cool, yes. And then they didn't, and then he died. But yeah, I think keeping Ben Solo alive is the biggest one, just because I care so much about the ancillary material. The Last Jedi is also very special to me. It helped me get through my first year of middle school. Last Jedi came out my first year of college, so it helped me get through that. Although there was a lot of divisiveness, but I'll never forget how excited I was. I'm sorry, my throat feels weird. So I guess that's what happens when you talk a lot. I don't think I particularly hate any Star Wars character. Me neither. Like, General Grievous is my least favorite. But I don't... Hate is such a strong word. Like, I don't hate things. I hate, like... Again, I try my best not to hate things, but I hate maybe the way people try to use other people, like that I see on YouTube. Like, the way certain people in certain groups that try to manipulate their fans, that spread lies, just so they can get clicks. Like, I hate that. Like, that really, I just think is morally wrong in every way. And people who are willing to sacrifice the fandom for their own personal gain, I think is incredibly cruel. And if I ever do something even remotely like that, I hope you guys call me out on it, because I think that is extremely disingenuous. I know money is a huge... People preach things and then money comes along. I just hope I will never be like that. That would really make me not happy. I agree on Dooku, even though I like him. Dooku's interesting. I just wish he was better in the movies. Who would win? Full unlimited power Palpatine or Yoda and Mace Windu? These are hard questions. Mace Windu basically beat Palpatine. Did Palpatine let him win? Maybe. It's hard to say, because we never really see Palpatine's like full strength. Like, he's lightsaber fighting against Yoda and he beat him, sure. But Mace Windu and Yoda, it's hard to say. In lightsaber combat, I'd say Yoda and Mace Windu. Assuming we're talking about them in their primes. Fans do take it too seriously. I literally had death threats for not liking the prequels even enough, and I like the sequels more. That's why I like your channel so much, because you spread a lot of positivity. And again, death threats. Like, people take it too seriously. People are freaking crazy. I'm actually really glad though. Like, I've gotten negativity before. Someone commented on my video once saying, "Oh, you're full of shit." I don't care. Like, if you want to take the time out of your day to try to make someone else feel worse, like, I'm sorry for you. Like, that sucks. You have that much built up anger. And again, it's not about posting something you disagree with me. Like, I've had plenty of comments that people who respectfully explain why they disagree with everything I say. That I love. I love disagreements. That's why on that Chatooine show, the two people that I talked to, Lunga and Star Wars Only, they both hate The Last Jedi. Would it be fun if I did a show with just two people who had the exact same opinions as me? I guess we can circle jerk and talk about how much we love Last Jedi, but it's more fun to have disagreements. It's more fun to have a more diverse view on things, because there's things I will say that these other two people never thought of, and there's things that Star Wars Only and Lunga think of that I would have never thought of. So it just adds more to the conversation. I think conversation is important. What do you think of the Mr. Plinkett prequel reviews? I think they're hilarious, but not to be taken seriously. I think that's the problem with a lot of these multi-hour long criticisms of movies these days. That's not proper film criticism. Like, the Plinkett reviews are not proper film criticism, but they're funny. And so to me, I love watching them, because I can't help but laugh. I disagree with almost all their takes, but it's funny. But a lot of these reviews nowadays, they kind of look at the Plinkett reviews and they're like, okay, let's nitpick the sequels, but they don't make it funny. So yeah, that's why I love the Plinkett reviews. Shit. I have a big soft spot for Rose. A lot of people do. A lot of people love Rose. Most people don't. A lot of people do. So another thing, it's very likely that your least favorite character in Star Wars is someone's favorite. there's probably people out there that love General Grievous because maybe they just love seeing someone with 4 lightsabers. What am I going to say? You're wrong for liking that? No. So again, the thing you dislike the most about something is probably the thing that someone loves the most about something. Just a fun fact. Have you seen CinemaWin's take on the rise of Skywalker? I actually agree with him so much. Yes, I have. I don't remember everything he said, but someone like CinemaWin's channel I love that. Like, because obviously it's based off Cinema Sins, but he just wants to say everything he loves. He even made like a 10-minute video on how much he loves The Last Airbender movie, or wins on The Last Airbender movie, which I've seen part of and I couldn't get through it. But yeah, I love that guy. I have no clue what his name is, but I love him and what he does. Whose redemption arc is better for you, Vader or Kylo? It's a tough one. I'd say Vader. Again, my favorite scene in all of Star Wars is the conversation between Luke and Vader when Vader dies. When he says, "You were right. You were right about me. Tell your sister you were right." Like that hits me hard. Like that's just beautiful. It's probably my favorite scene in all of cinema. So because of that, I'd say Vader. It's because also we've seen Vader's more fleshed out. We know how tortured he is through the prequels, through Vader books, through Rebels, through everything. He's a tortured man. It's a tragedy. So Vader's redemption is probably my favorite. There are only 2 Star Wars films I didn't love, and those are The Phantom Menace and Solo. I'm with you. And Rogue One. I didn't really love Rogue One either. But again, everyone's least favorite movie is someone's favorite movie. Wait, you dislike Grievous more than Jar Jar? Absolutely. Not even close. I don't hate Jar Jar. Jar Jar's annoying, sure, but he's easily the most fleshed out character in The Phantom Menace. He's the only character you completely understand his motivation, his goals, why the way he is. He's the most 3-dimensional. He easily has the most personality of anyone there. So yeah, I wouldn't say I love Jar Jar. I mean, I do have a pretty childish humor, so whenever I do see him, I do kind of laugh. The Phantom Menace. I guess that's the thing I enjoy the most about The Phantom Menace is Jar Jar's stupid humor. But yeah, easily I hate Grievous more than Jar Jar. At least Jar Jar entertains me in some way. Grievous, I just go, ugh. Phantom Menace had a good lightsaber fight, though, and Solo was very entertaining. I've seen the Phantom Menace lightsaber fight so many times, it doesn't amaze me anymore. I don't want to talk repeatedly how much I dislike the Phantom Menace. I'd rather talk about what I love. One thing I don't like is people randomly inserting hate. Example. I saw a wholesome post saying R2 was at Leia's birth and death, and people were getting mad that R2 in the sequels wasn't main. People complain that 3PO and R2 weren't the main characters in the sequels or weren't important. I don't care. What does R2 have to offer to the story? Like, cool, he was there. He was on the damn posters. But yeah, I don't get upset for the lack of a character. It depends on the execution. Do you know Dave McRae? I have no clue who that is. I hope I'm not too behind on comments again. I'm not too behind. What's it, 45 minutes? Yeah, I'm going to keep on going for as long as you guys do want me to. We're constantly hovering up around 15 viewers, which is pretty good. I'm happy about that. Let's see how long we go. Sad but true, I am liking the prequels less and less because some of them are so mean. If you say anything negative about them, yeah, see, that hurts. That hurts me to read. Like, I don't think I could ever base my opinions off of an overall consensus or the way other people treat me about my opinions. But I know it's not the same for everyone. And when I read things like that sucks. Like, I don't want you to dislike a film that people worked 2 years on just because someone is mean to you about it. It sucks. I hope you find peace with the prequels. But that hurts to read. I'm really sorry about that. Have you watched Hatchet? No. R2 wasn't main on the prequels either. Neither was 3PO, so I don't get that point. I mean, R2 and 3PO were more important in the prequels. I mean, besides Rise of Skywalker, which had a prominent role for 3PO, R2 was nowhere, and then 3PO wasn't really in Force Awakens or Last Jedi. How do you feel about The Mandalorian? I really, really like it. I don't love it, though. I want to believe that the people that make clickbait are decent people outside of the internet, but the thing... Hold on, sorry. I want to believe that people that make clickbait are decent people outside of the internet, but the thing is whether intentionally or not, they make people feel bad. Yeah, see, like things like that. I really hope people don't make people feel bad for disliking things. That sucks. I love General Grievous. There you go. People love General Grievous. I really like the prequels. They are so nostalgic for me. The Clone Wars makes the prequels probably my favorite era. Yes, I don't know. I didn't register. I really like the prequels. They are so again, like, people love the prequels because it's their movies that they grew up with. So I'm not going to judge people for loving them. A lot of people can't accept criticism of the prequels, unlike the sequels. I wouldn't say that. I think a lot of prequel fans acknowledge that there's many flawed aspects of those movies. Revenge of the Sith people, though, people think that's a masterpiece, which I disagree with. But people who love Revenge of the Sith, I'm so glad. I'm happy when people tell me they love a movie, even though if I don't. It just makes me happy. When Vader says you already have man, Return of the Jedi is amazing. LOL. I'm a Jedi like my father before me. Exact same thoughts. It's a beautiful scene. It is a beautiful scene. Am I the only one that doesn't find Jar Jar annoying? I'm so used to it now. Since I've known exactly what he says, I don't really find him annoying anymore. Over time, things that annoy me just become less annoying, and the things that I love even more, which is a great feeling. The only Star Wars character I hate is Commander Fox because he killed Fives and put a kill order on Ahsoka even though it was canceled. Are you blaming him though? It's not like he personally did it. It was probably just the order of it was probably just Palpatine's order. What's your opinion on the prequels' overreactions, sometimes to Star Wars, like in 2005 with George Lucas ripping my child? I need to read these more clearly, but people overreact. If you say Star Wars, these new Star Wars movies ruined your childhood, then you're weird. What is your least favorite scene in each Star Wars movie? Phantom Menace, midichlorian scene, Attack of the Clones, some of the romance, Revenge of the Sith. It's hard to say least favorite. I don't like making these types of talks. I'll skip Revenge of the Sith. Solo, the scene where he gets his name, I thought that was stupid. Rogue One. I don't have one for Rogue One. Episode 4, don't have one. Episode 5, don't have one. Episode 6. I don't really like the Jabba sail barge scene or the Ewoks all that much. Force Awakens, the Rathtar stuff, Last Jedi, Canto Bight, The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. I can't answer all that. I've been rewatching all things Star Wars shows and movies, and I surprisingly really liked Attack of the Clones. The whole mystery of the cloning facility with Obi-Wan was really fun to watch. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I enjoy a lot of Attack of the Clones. That's why I don't dislike it as much as I used to. I still think it's a pretty bad movie, but again, I really enjoy it. Went to see The Rise of Skywalker at my local cinema on Friday night. Oh, it's still in theaters. I'm glad to say my opinion on it grew so fonder after a second viewing. Same here. Most of the movies that I watch improve on my second viewing. Sequel fans, you should have destroyed the toxic fans, not joined them. Prequel fans, I hate you. Sequel fans, you were my brother. Prequel fans, I loved you. I don't want to over categorize fans of movies. I've seen very toxic sequel fans. I've seen people that love The Last Jedi so much that they crap on people who even remotely criticize it. So those people are just as bad as the people that love the prequels, and that love the prequels and hate on those who dislike the prequels. Just dropping in to say congrats on the 500 subs. Thanks, Irish. Really appreciate it. God, it's so hot in here. I saw The Rise of Skywalker 2 times on release day and another time a day later. And I might have got a bit excited. I didn't see any of these movies twice in the same day, by the way. Saw Force Awakens 4 times, Rogue One twice, Last Jedi 3 times. I would have went a 4th time, but I got sick that day. Solo twice, and Rise of Skywalker 5 times. 5 times, right? One of my good friend Gungan Dungeon saw Force Awakens 14 times. Wow. Worst Rogue One scene is the weird. Poogalet, he knows the truth. That scene is such a meme in my friend group, where they take Bodhi Rook and they take off the bag that's over his head, and Saw Gerrera, he looks at him, he like takes a breath, he breathes something like, book it. I can't say that's my least favorite scene, considering it's so funny. Buckle it. He knows the truth. High Republic or Old Republic? Considering I know nothing about the High Republic, and I haven't seen or read anything about the Old Republic, I can't answer that question. Am I really caught up with all the comments now? Oh, I guess I am. Let me go back to the least favorite scenes thing. Least favorite scene in Revenge of the Sith. It's a tough one. I don't know. I can't answer that. I'll keep going. Rey Skywalker or Rey Nobody? It's a tough one. So if you mean the portray, like I like Rey Nobody, but I also really like Rey taking on the name Skywalker. Like she could have still been a nobody and taken the name Skywalker, and I would have liked that. It's just her making her biologically related to Palpatine. I wasn't the biggest fan of. But I really like the Rey Skywalker ending. I think it's better than her just staying Rey. But when it comes to genetics, I prefer Rey being a nobody. Because Rey is the one that killed Palpatine, and he returned to do. Because Rey is the one that killed Palpatine, and he returned. Do you think that takes away from Anakin's fulfillment of the prophecy because the Sith were not destroyed? No. And again, I dislike the prophecy of the chosen one. I just think it's completely unnecessary. I think it really limits storytelling. Like, even in the EU, there's Sith that come back after Anakin defeats Palpatine. I don't think so, because at the end of the day, to me, his sacrifice was more about saving Luke than it was defeating Palpatine. Like, in that moment, I don't see Vader as overcoming everything that Palpatine did to him. Like, in that moment, I just see him saving his son. And that wasn't retconned in the Rise of Skywalker, so it doesn't ruin it for me. But it might for other people, and I'm not going to disagree with you. Like every scene is different for every people because it matters what you take away from it. So for me, that Vader scene, what I took away was him saving his son. And at the end of the day, he just defeated Palpatine, and it took him 30 years to almost come back and fail. So, like, if Vader didn't kill Palpatine, then the Empire would have still reigned, and the First Order would have not been destroyed. It would have existed, but the Empire would have still reigned. So it doesn't bother me. The real chosen one. Did you know Hasbro is releasing classic Star Wars figures like they came in the 80s? That's cool. I've never been into collecting action figures or anything like that, but a lot of people are. My good friend Gungan Dungeon collects the Hot Toys. So yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't buy any of those. I remember watching an interview with Lucas who was sharing his thoughts on The Force Awakens. They made a retro movie. I just wanted to tell a story. I think The Force Awakens told a story. George Lucas may not like them. I respect his opinion. It doesn't mean I don't love them. I think The Force Awakens tells a very heartfelt story about learning to accept your past instead of running away from it and facing your biggest fears. That's what Finn does. That's what Han does. And that's what Rey does. And at the end of the day, I think that was a beautiful story that I think was wonderfully continued in The Last Jedi and then continued somewhat well in The Rise of Skywalker. Do you know Chef? I can't say his name, but I think I've watched a video of his. I don't remember. Does he make good videos on the sequels? I don't remember. But the name sounds familiar. At the end of Jedi, I assume you mean Return of Jedi, we needed Palpatine's laughing at the end. So you mean Last Jedi. Or something instead of Broom Boy. Imagine sitting on that for 2 years. Yeah. Again, I think that would have been better somewhat. It would have helped tease things like if there was like an after credit scene or something. But I love Last Jedi. I love that ending, so I wouldn't change it. I think it would have been pretty cool for Rey to be a Kenobi, even though I like the idea of Rey being a nobody. I don't get the Kenobi thing. It's just like her and Anakin, or her and Anakin's grandson team up. Like, I guess, but if they're gonna make her related to someone, I'm glad they made her related to someone very evil. Hence Palpatine. I think George would have hated any movie they did, and I get why. Yeah, like I can relate to that. Like recently, I've been working on a project, and it was recently changed quite a bit. So my original work is basically not there, and it's like the work they did is better, but it still sucks. So I don't blame George Lucas at all. Based on my former question, do you think that a chosen one and a prophecy is a little bit of a cliche trope, or do you like that part of the hero's journey? I really dislike the chosen one, not because it's cliche, because that means like Anakin was destined to defeat the Sith. Like it doesn't matter what he did, that was his destiny. I don't know. I prefer like in that moment, Vader made a decision to save his son and destroy the Sith. So I don't. And then if the chosen one prophecy never existed, then people wouldn't be complaining about Palpatine's return. So yeah, I don't like it at all. Never did. Chef makes good content. I'll take your word on it. I think Rey was supposed to be a Kenobi. In The Force Awakens, Obi-Wan talks to her and says, is it your? I thought these were her first steps. These are your first steps. I think it's her. But yeah. I mean, you hear Obi-Wan say in The Rise of Skywalker, these are your final steps, Rey. Rise and take them. Although they're not really her final steps, because her story is going to continue eventually. But I don't think so. I really enjoy these hangouts, and it's cool to watch a smaller channel grow, so congrats on 500. Thank you so much. I really enjoy these too, and I do plan on doing more of them in a month once I'm back in my usual situation. General Grievous versus Jason Voorhees. I don't know who that second person is. Sorry. Have you ever made a theory that actually have you ever had a theory that actually happened? For example, the channel Star Wars Nerdiness predicted Boba Fett being in The Mandalorian. Well, we don't know if Boba Fett will be in The Mandalorian, but that's not too much of a hard prediction. A theory that was unlikely that became true. I don't theorize all that much. I mean, I was pretty certain that Ben Solo would be redeemed, but that's not that hard of a theory. I've had common theories that became true, but not anything that's like super like hot take that came true. Talking about Giants fan comment, technically Anakin still killed Palpatine because if he didn't save Luke, Rey wouldn't be trained. Yeah. It's a little more of a complicated road, but if it wasn't for Anakin, Luke would have never saved the galaxy, and then the galaxy would have never stood up to the First Order. So if it wasn't for Anakin, then there would be no happiness. When the sequel trilogy first started, I actually thought that Rey would be a Skywalker like Luke's daughter, like a Blood Skywalker. I did too. I actually kind of wanted that for the time being. And then at some point between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, based on just like the external material, like I read a book about Leia, and not once did she mention having a daughter or Luke having a daughter. At that point, I was like, okay, Rey's a nobody, or she's not a Skywalker. And that could have been a unique story. I like the story that was told, but any story could have been great. It would need to be executed well. I agree they told a good story with The Force Awakens. I agree too. I think Force Awakens is very underrated. Lord Snorlax, you are right on Shaft. He is fun as shit. I'm going to check him out. I know I've seen one of his videos. I don't remember what exactly I have seen. I also loved Luke in The Last Jedi. Me too. It's one of my first videos. Actually, I believe my first two videos are about... My first video ever, which came out in 2019, was about Luke and why he means a lot to me personally. Then there's one about objectivity, which I actually want to redo because it's an old one. And then my third video, which is the one I made in February when I restarted the Goldman, was on Luke as well. But that's a longer one. I also want to redo that too. I had a cringy skit in the beginning. But yeah. A lot of my videos I'll eventually redo because I've had more thoughts. I'm better at what I do than I was a few months ago. So I do want to remake some videos eventually, not anytime soon though. I also realized that Ben Solo is actually based on the legends Jason Solo, also known as Darth Caedus. I knew that, but I don't think Jason Solo was redeemed. I'm pretty sure he got killed as an evil person. Not sure though, but they're very similar. What is your take on the whole Ray Park situation? He's an idiot. I mean, the man ruined his whole career for some petty stuff. Yeah. No chance they bring him back. Why would they? Yeah, Ray Park's not a smart guy. So yeah, that's my take. I have nothing else to say on that. So I don't know if Palpatine was coming back and Rey was supposed to take Leia's saber to Exegol. Does that mean that Leia was supposed to destroy Palpatine for good, but they never found him and Leia moved? No, I don't think so. How do you don't know Jason Voorhees? He's the hooky mask killer. I've seen very few movies in my life. I'm sorry. Do you have Star Wars Lego? Hold on a sec. I need to pull up a picture. Sorry, I have a lot of photos in my camera roll. Darn it. Well, I have a picture of my wonderful Lego collection somewhere. Oh, it's close. Here's a picture of my Lego Death Star that I custom made, and then there's a Venator on the other side, and then a Republic gunship. Yeah, I have a crap ton of Star Wars Legos. Come on, I have to have the picture somewhere. I don't have one. Yeah, look at my Star Wars Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker. Go on my channel. Go to my collection video after this, and you can see all my Legos. I have a lot. Claude versus every Star Wars character. The winner's obvious. Claude. Yeah. Why is that even a question? His videos are great, so yeah. Sumin Sheffilis. I'll check him out. Have you ever been to England? I believe I was at the airport once, but no. My spell check keeps on making Claude. No worry, you corrected it, so I know you know how to spell properly. Star Wars Lego games are the best. I never knew why they didn't make one for Last Jedi. It wasn't as popular. Maybe Force Awakens didn't do as well. The Lego game, that is. But I'm so excited for the Skywalker Saga Lego game. Although, rumor has it it's delayed. It would make me very upset, but I'd rather they make the best game possible than rush it early. What do you think of the Duel of Fate script? Do you for the Rise of Skywalker not? I agree. I think they both have good stuff and bad stuff. Again, it's hard to say with Duel of Fates. I haven't read the exact script. I have it on my computer. I've read a plot synopsis, so I basically know what happens. But again, it depends on execution. I don't think about Duel of Fates all that much. But it is technically part of sequel trilogy history, and it's a very unique piece of film history. How often does a film that gets completely rewritten do we the fans get to see that original story? Like the Snyder Cut is very unique too, and Duel of Fates is also very unique because again, what other movie have we seen an original script that was leaked somehow? I wonder how that even got leaked. What's your opinion on the Emperor creating Snoke? I always thought he would be Darth Plagueis. I don't mind it. Don't really care for Snoke all that much, so yeah, I wish it was executed a little better, but I don't mind it. I actually like it. Jack JW Productions. Yo, what's up? What's up to you? I'll ask you the same question. The new Lego Star Wars game will slap so hard. Oh, it's gonna be so good. You guys see the leaked menu of the game? I know I have that recently. Let me pull it up. Maybe not. Crap. Oh, that's a big. Oh, here it is. That thing looks badass. I mean, of course, people are complaining because Anakin's not on it, but Vader is. Like, shut up, weirdos. People are annoying. I think Palpatine being Snoke makes sense. Just think about it. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Would you ever play Star Wars video games on your channel? I did actually once. It didn't really do that well. It was Republic Commando. But once I want to get a capture card. I'll definitely do some gaming when Squadrons comes out, and especially when the Lego Star Wars game comes out. So I'll be doing gaming. Star Wars nerdiness also predicted Rey was related to Palpatine. It was pretty common take. That menu is sick AF. It is. Oh, I'm so excited for that game. I just read a tweet, and I quote, "If Leia was a Jedi, why did she send Ben away and didn't train him? Do you think that this is because she wasn't actually a Jedi, or because she saw Ben's death?" I believe the reason why... So I'm kind of piecing things together. So in The Rise of Skywalker, this was always weird. She didn't become a Jedi because she saw the death of her son at the end of her training. But her son died anyway. So she didn't become a Jedi because of that. And I think when they saw that there was a lot of darkness inside Ben, they were kind of scared. They didn't know how to handle it. Like, they saw that I guess he had a really dark side. So they sent him to Luke. And that is how Luke became, or that's how Ben turned to the dark side. So I don't think it was because she didn't become a Jedi. I don't know. If Leia... It's also hard to say because visions are always cloudy. So if she did become a Jedi, would Ben died? Maybe. We never know. That part's always a little confusing. But she sent Han and Leia sent Ben away because he had like a dark side and they wanted Luke to help him out. How excited are you about Star Wars The Bad Batch? A little more than I was 2 weeks ago, but not that excited. I'm going to watch it and I want it to be great. And I think there's some great ideas. But it's not a concept that I'm too particularly interested in. I think there's so many better stories they could tell. But I hope it's great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just not... I wouldn't say I'm super excited, if you feel me. The Bad Batch show is quite probably the strangest decision ever. It is a strange decision. But I trust Lucasfilm to give me good stories. I mean, Star Wars Resistance, I didn't like all that much, but it was severely handicapped by its platform. And I don't think that's going to be the same for the Bad Batch. So I trust that it'll be good. I'm just not super excited for the concept. But you never know. It might become my favorite story. We'll see. Just because I'm not excited for something doesn't mean it doesn't have the potential to be great. One thing that bothers me about The Rise of Skywalker is Palpatine's lack of a plan. First, he wanted to kill Rey, then he wants to. I think I know what you mean, but Palpatine's plan is kind of weird. But to me, it always seemed like Palpatine was improvising. I mean, those who are expert strategists are always able to adapt to certain situations. That if their initial plan doesn't go that way, then they're not just going to collapse. So Palpatine originally wanted Rey. So maybe he started The Rise of Skywalker with the plan that he wants Ben Solo to assume the throne, but he can't until Rey's dead. Later on in the movie, he finds out that Leia died and redeemed her son. So Palpatine's like, okay, plan A didn't work. Plan B, let's have Rey assume the throne. That almost worked. Then Ben Solo shows up, and Palpatine force drains them, and he realizes, oh crap, they're a dyad. I could use their force energy so that where I can just survive and assume the throne myself. So that's what happens, and then he shoots Rey and dies. So to me, it's always about Palpatine. Again, the best strategists are able to improvise. So to me, it wasn't always that far off. The thing that doesn't make sense, though, is why he announced to the world, to the galaxy, that he was back. That part's still a little tricky to me. But I always try to think about things. If something doesn't make sense to me, I always try to think about how I could mentally make it make sense instead of just straight up getting annoyed because it doesn't make sense. But yeah, so that part of it somewhat makes sense, but not the part where he announces that he's back. First, he wants to kill Rey. Then he wants to train. I can't read. First, he wants to kill Rey. Then he wants for her to be possessed by him. Then he wants to drain. Yeah, see, it's like plan A didn't work, plan B didn't work, and then let's go to plan C. That's how I always saw it. Rain is from Mortal Kombat, not from Star Wars, though. See? I don't know. I've never played Mortal Kombat. Palpatine got more health from both Rey and Kylo, therefore he didn't need her. Yeah. He's like, oh crap. Like I can just screw these two. I can just use their energy and I can assume the throne myself. Palpatine's plan in the prequels also makes little sense when you dissect it like that. Yeah, honestly, I agree. Palpatine's plan in the prequels is very weird. Did he always want Anakin to be a thing? When he saw Anakin at the end of Phantom Menace, did he know that was going to be his apprentice? Darth Maul says Anakin was groomed from the start. So then he left it up to luck that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon would find Anakin. But then was it really luck? How do you know that they would go to Tatooine? Was it just the will of the Force and Palpatine saw the future? Again, it's weird. See, it's very weird. Hello there, Obi-Wan. I'm glad you're here. I'm looking forward to your show that comes out in 2 years. I would have preferred the sequel show to Rebels. It's still going to happen, by the way. I want to see a show about Luke and Ahsoka rebuilding the Order. See, that's actually really interesting. I thought about this before. Luke, it seems like Ahsoka learns how to be a proper Jedi by the time of Rebels. And Luke doesn't until Ben Solo betrays him. So I feel like Ahsoka would have helped prevent the fall of Ben Solo. Yeah, we'll see. They have to meet at some point, and that'll be a great episode of whatever when it does happen. I understand you on the Bad Batch. Of course, I'll watch it as I would watch anything they release. However, there are many characters I don't want to see series from Disney Plus. I really dislike stories that are devoted to a single character. Like The Mandalorian is a little bit of an exception because the show is about the Mandalorians. Obi-Wan's the only other exception, but like straight up Solo, I don't like that. Like a Lando show, I don't like that. The Bad Batch I prefer more because it's about a group of people. So one of them could die and the group is still there. So there's more at stake. But if a show is about a specific person, then they can't die until the finale, I guess. I think he'd announce it so the worlds would have just enough time to decide if they would surrender to the new empire or be killed by them. Yeah, but really what they could do is if Palpatine, well, I disagree with you. If Palpatine really wanted to, he could have just left Exegol with all of his Star Destroyers and show up at planets and be like, okay, you either surrender or get blown up. Like, you decide now. Like, that's, I feel like, would have made more sense. I don't know. Maybe he needed Rey and Kylo. Maybe he needed Rey before. Maybe he announced it to the world because he needed Ben Solo and Rey to assume the throne of the Sith before the Final Order plan was executed. Does that make sense? Palpatine didn't want the galaxy to be taken over until the Sith were properly reborn. And I guess, but why not? Why do the Sith need to be reborn? Can't he just go to General Pride and be like, yeah, take over all these planets before, and I'll get reborn in a few days? It's a little tricky. It's a little tricky. Another controversial opinion, I really liked the Battlefront 2 campaign. I thought it was okay. I didn't really like it all that much. Ezra and Thrawn could be there too in the show. The Rebels sequel show, I hope so. That's going to happen. Don't worry. It's happening. It's happening. I have it on good authority. It's happening. I've talked to people. It's happening. Another thing that annoyed me about his plan was that why did he have a fleet of Star Destroyers, basically like laser cannons on the Star Destroyers, Death Stars? The Zeiston class Star Destroyers, which are the Death Star Destroyers, are my least favorite thing in Star Wars. I really dislike that. So don't ask me. But yeah, that annoyed me too. And still does. I really dislike those things so much. I facepalmed so hard when I saw Kijimi get blown up. That's the thing I dislike the most. Why would he want the whole fleet of Death Star cannons plus ships that can't go up without being told to do so? Yeah, see, again, that whole thing's a little weird. No, I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and they were like, why couldn't the Star Destroyers just leave Exegol? And I was like, they needed the proper navigation points, which makes sense. And they were like, given the technologies, why couldn't the communication tower, like email it to all the Star Destroyers so they have it. Space Science. Liked and subbed. Thank you so much. I think you're 501 now. I can check later. Who cares? Who cares about subs? I care about you guys. I really want the Rebel sequel. It's going to happen. Maybe Mando 2 will hint at it. The Rebel sequel's happening. Especially if they're teasing Ahsoka is going to be in The Mandalorian. I'm almost certain. Rebel sequel show is going to happen. We just need to be patient. We just need to be patient. This is the way. It is the way. Most definitely the way. Absolutely the way. The way. Palpatine sent his apprentice. Who sends a bounty hunter. I know you were talking. You're talking about a cosmonauts thing. Palpatine sends Dooku, who sends Jango Fett, who sends another bounty hunter, who sends a droid, who sends slugs to kill Pat. Yeah. When I first saw that was hilarious. October will be a big month for Star Wars. Mando Season 2, Star Wars Squadrons, and Lego Star Wars. Rumor is that Lego Star Wars is delayed, which sucks. But the other two are still great. Yep. Do you think Finn will become a Jedi post Rise of Skywalker? He has to. Why else would they set that up? Finn becoming a Jedi is like, Finn was done so dirty, they need to just completely take him in a different direction if they ever do continue that story. So yes, I do think, oh, my back hurts. I do think he'll become a Jedi, because what else could you do with him? I just think it's so much more interesting. Palpatine is a genius. Palpatine is a very smart man. Goldman, I'm going to go now. This was great. Hopefully next time you'll be 600 or 1,000. But if I got 1,000 subs in the next month, I'd scream. But yeah, again, I do want to start streaming more starting September, because then that will be the easiest for me. But until then, if I get 600 before then, I will do a stream on it. I like doing these streams, but I don't want to do them too often. Are you excited for the Cassian Andor series? Do you think it'll be good? I am actually pretty excited. I do wish that, I hope it's not just like the Cassian Andor show. I do hope he's part, like the main character, and then there's other people around him. I do like the idea of the Rebels. I think it has a potential to be a nice, darker show that's really like a spy show. So I am rather intrigued by the Cassian Andor show, because I did like him. I didn't particularly like the movie he was in, but I like him. I am happy to see your channel grow, bro. Sorry. You give me hope that my channel will grow too. You have a channel? Leave the link. I'll check it out. I wonder what kind of content you make. But yeah, thank you for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. Who is your favorite Star Wars female character? Rey. Padme, Leia, Rey, Ahsoka. Yeah, I'd say Rey. Rey, then Ahsoka. I don't really like Leia all that much. Is that big of a hot take? I don't dislike her. I just never loved Leia. And Padme I don't like at all. I think Padme is a terrible character. Sorry. But yeah, Rey and Ahsoka. Rey just means a lot more to me personally, just because of how much the sequels mean to me more than the Clone Wars. But yeah, Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka. And Rey. Sorry, a little late. Do not apologize. I am glad if anyone just tunes in for a second. Thank you so much. If you are here, by the way, hit the like button. It means a lot. My throat is killing me. But I do want to keep on going as much as I can. If you guys still have questions for me, I'll keep on answering them. Hello, Chan Thorpe. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, I'm caught up with the comments. Anything more, or should I get off? I'm a little tired. My back hurts. Getting old. Oh, Goldman officially canceled for having opinions. Imagine. I hate cancel culture so much. I don't believe people should be judged by words they've said in the past. I hope that's not too hard of a take. But yeah, I don't like cancel culture. Hey Max, Rey is a fave, but Leia is fine. Yeah, like Rey and Ahsoka are just two of my favorites. I love those characters. My throat's getting dry. This might be my longest stream so far. I've done of all my. I did one for 200 to 300. I did not do one for 400. And now 500. And then hopefully it keeps on growing from there. I feel like they will show an Inquisitor in Mando Season 2, and Mando will be saved by Ahsoka, and that is how she will be introduced. The Inquisitor will be sent to capture Baby Yoda. Maybe Moff Gideon's an Inquisitor, although I don't think Inquisitors can rise in the ranks to like Moff. So yeah. But yeah, maybe I'm not sure if an exact Inquisitor will show up, but Moff Gideon himself is after Baby Yoda. So do they really need an Inquisitor? I don't think so. Smiley face. All right, it is 1 hour and 20 minutes in. It is actually very nice outside where I am. Let me check. I do want to go outside in tan. Is it wrong for me to say that? It's 83 degrees where I currently am, and the UV is still high. Maybe. Oh, people are still commenting, so I'll keep on answering. Would you have liked to see Anakin's Force Ghost at the end of Rise of Skywalker? That was originally planned before it's cut. Don't say that it was originally planned because we don't know. I mean, maybe based off leaks. But would have been nice, sure. I didn't need it. I got Anakin. His voice was enough for me. Agree about cancel culture. Do you think Rian Johnson's trilogy will happen? Also, any thoughts on the Taika Waititi Star Wars film? Again, the Rian Johnson trilogy question is so hard. All I will say is I want it to happen so bad. But we'll have to wait and see. Thoughts on Taika's film? I really like Thor Ragnarok. That's the only film of his I've seen. I know actually Jojo Rabbit's on HBO Max now. I'm going to watch that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I trust Taika to make a good film. I'm just curious to see what the era is. What's the film going to be about? What's it called? Why is Padme a terrible character? I don't know. I don't get her. I don't get why she falls in love with Anakin for one. She's better in the Clone Wars, sure. To me, she's just basically the same as Leia. Like I don't find many differences between the two. So she's kind of just like a copy and paste of Leia to me. And then she dies of sadness while her children are born. Like to me, that's just being a terrible mother. Like if she really died of sadness, then she basically just abandoned her kids. Like I just don't think that's being a good mother. Like if I was a parent, which I'm not, thank God, not yet at least. If I was a parent and my wife died giving birth, I wouldn't like I'd feel like morally responsible to take extra care of the children because of her. To her, Anakin's basically dead, and she died of sadness. If she died of actual childbirth, or if Palpatine secretly killed her, that's one thing. But right now, the official story is that she died of sadness, and that's pathetic. It's pathetic. Hot take. That Inquisitor is probably Barriss. I would love to see Barriss back. I don't think we've seen the end of her. I would really like to see Barriss come back. What is a great time with Seconds coming on here? What a great time with Seconds coming on here and talking Star Wars with you. What is a great time with Seconds coming on here? So, one day I do in the future maybe want to bring on guests. Not anytime soon though. But you guys, maybe someone like you. I mean, you have been consistently here. So maybe I'd bring on someone like you one of these days, but not anytime soon. I'm sorry, it's just too much work, and I'm pretty busy until at least September. I hope I don't disappoint. If Brie does do Star Wars, what would you like her to do? Ahsoka or fighter pilot? I want her to be a Jedi. She's pretty athletic. She's not going to be Ahsoka because Rosario Dawson's rumored to be Ahsoka. Honestly, maybe this is just me being a bad person, but I think the thing I'd enjoy most about Brie Larson being in Star Wars is seeing people get really pissed off about it. The Brie Larson hate is so ridiculous. Like, a lot of people complain that their opinions aren't heard, and then Brie Larson gives her opinions, and people crap on her. They literally go dislike bomb her videos of her just, like, playing Animal Crossing. Like, people need to grow up. I think Rian Johnson's trilogy will be interesting because, to me, The Last Jedi felt like he was held back a lot by being in a middle film, in a trilogy with characters he didn't create, but he had some really great ideas. I agree. I honestly think Rian Johnson, as much as I love The Last Jedi, I think Rian Johnson would have been best suited for a spin-off film because he can be Rian Johnson. He can take his risks, and if it sucks, it's a spin-off film. Who cares? But since it's episode 8, and especially the middle film of the trilogy, it really mattered to a lot of people. Thank God I loved it, but The Last Jedi, like I've met people that like Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker, but they dislike The Last Jedi so much that it kind of just ruins the trilogy for them. And I get it. Follow up my last point. I think that would be why Luke goes searching for Exegol. Yeah, I wonder why Luke was searching for Exegol. That's a good question. Sorry about the spelling error. I was saying it was great coming on here and talking to you on your streams, and congratulations on your 500 subscribers. I hope to see your next stream also months. Hopefully it's within a month, actually. Took me 30 days to go from 400 to 500. So hopefully it take me a little less to get from 500 to 600. But I prefer more. I prefer to provide you guys with great content than to just get subs. Spin-off film would have definitely been the way to go for Ryan. Couldn't agree more. And I think even the biggest Last Jedi haters would agree. Because Rian Johnson, again, with the spin-off film, you have more freedom. I guess you can take bigger risks. I would have loved to seen Rian Johnson do the first film, like The Force Awakens. But I don't think he felt handicapped. Because when you sign on for episode 8, you know you're continuing the story with other characters. And I think he did an excellent job for the most part. He could have done better with Finn and Poe. But Rey, Kylo, and Luke, I love it. I'll always be grateful to Rian Johnson. And that is why I want his trilogy so badly. All right, I am caught up with comments right now. Any last questions? And if not, I'm going to hop off. Oh, here we go. If they do go ahead with continuing Solo, should they do a Mando series or another full movie? Again, another Mando type series? I just don't want them to continue the Solo story. I wouldn't mind seeing Kira and Maul do stuff, but like Lando, no interest. I don't have much interest in seeing where Han's story goes after that, because the story really begins with episode 4. Solo was a fine movie. A lot of people love it. But to me, I don't need to see any more of him. If they do make it, I'll be happy for the fans of the Solo 2 movement. Like, I'll be genuinely happy for all of you. I just don't really care to see Solo's story continue. I'm going to stay on here for 3 more minutes, and then I am going to hop off. So I am getting tired, my throat hurts, and I do want to relax for a bit. I do have to make a video for Tuesday, because I've actually been quite lazy recently on making videos. Work's been busy, but it's no excuse. I gotta work harder. So, I'm just going to hop off now. Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. Thank you for 500 subs. I love you all. It means a lot to me. Hopefully, I'll see you guys again sooner rather than later. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Don't forget to unite the Claude Squad. I'll see you guys next time.